Welcome back to another episode of Beyond Organized. I have Suzy here with me, and I'm going to give you a bit of a breakdown on who this lovely lady is. So, Suzy Mighell is the personality and content creator behind the popular blog and social media brand Empty Nest Blessed. Known for her bright spirit and biblical encouragement, Suzy inspires more than 400,000 monthly readers and followers with uplifting content on everything from fashion and beauty to marriage, travel, parenting, adult kids, aging joyfully, so much more. Ranking at the top of Google for Empty Nest blog and influencer, she has also been featured in many sources, including national television and radio, among many others. So, coming all the way from Dallas, Texas, please join me in welcoming Suzy. Yay!
Thank you, Mel. I'm sorry. One of my kids texted me and I had to turn it off on my watch. If that isn't perfect, I don't know what is. So I was like,
I
no, I
love it.
cannot talk to you. And it's a picture of the grandbaby. You can't even see it, but I cannot have time for
You
this.
can't ignore that,
No,
though.
sorry.
You can't ignore that.
I'm ignoring it for you for a little while.
Oh, I love it. It is
Thank you.
so good to have you here.
Thank
I've
you.
got a growing audience of people in your demographic that I know are going to love listening to you today. So to just take it, straight into it, what inspired you to write your book?
Well, I had been doing emptynestblessed.com for 10 years, and I'd had social media going and my blog going. I had lots of followers, and there were questions and there were things that I was hearing from them over and over
Yeah,
and over again.
constantly. Yep.
And I thought, I can keep writing on the same subject, like you
Yeah.
do with your children. When they're young, you keep
Yep.
repeating yourself, thinking it's going to take eventually. But I just thought if I put it all in a book, then it'll be there and it's a resource
Yeah.
for people. And so what I did was I started with the very basics of who you are, because no matter what age you are, I think for us as women, as people, as men, even, it's very, very important for us to know who we are. What are our gifts? What are our abilities? What are our skills? What do we bring to the table? What makes us special and unique? And then what does God say about that? Who does God say that we are in his word? And who is he calling us to be? So we start there. And then I go chronologically through the empty nest, which I talk about things you can do before your nest empties. When your kids start leaving, you think, uh-oh, it's coming.
Oh, no.
I've been a mom and now they're going to all be gone. And how's that going to be? And you start thinking about it. So what you can do even then, to the feelings that you get when the children do leave, everyone's gone and it's quiet and you're all alone and you just think, what's next? So that, then what's it like as you settle in, like life in the empty nest, rediscovering your relationship with your spouse and, learning to cook for two people instead of 5 or 6 and, all those things. So life in the empty nest and then really finding purpose in the empty nest. What is that like? And what does it mean to have purpose? And purpose is different for everyone. For some people, it could mean, traveling all the time with their husband who's on business. For others, does that sound good to you, Mel, right about now?
I'm looking forward to that part where I can travel so far away.
Yeah, bless your heart. But for others, it could mean going back to school, going back to work, volunteering, taking care of elderly parents. There's a wide variety in what can give women purpose. Then I continue on through the book once we establish purpose to the biggest section of the book, which I hear the most about from my followers, and that has to do with parenting adult children and what that looks like, how your relationship changes from parenting right where you are, for example, where you're training and working on their character and talking to them about virtue and, training their hearts, you're correcting all those things and you're really managing their lives, getting them where they need to go
Yeah.
to as they become their own person, pulling back, closing your mouth, keeping that welcome mat out, but your mouth closed, as my friend Jim Burns says, and really being able to put yourself in a position to be more of a mentor rather than a manager, but only when asked, not giving suggestions, not giving opinions, all those things. And that is not as easy as flipping on a light switch. That is a huge, huge change.
Yeah.
But it has
It
to happen
is.
because if you keep
Yeah.
parenting the way you are, where you're giving them advice without being asked, it can undermine
Yeah.
them. So we can talk a little bit more
Yeah.
about that, but it's a big, big deal.
Well, I even see it from the child's perspective
Yeah.
here that, the relationship I have with my parents, but also with my in-laws is quite
Yeah.
healthy and quite good because they're not giving their opinions all the time without look, we do come to them because we know we're going to get good advice,
That's
but
beautiful.
also because we know that they're only going to give us that advice when we ask. Because they're trusting that we've got it in hand. We know what we know. They've
Yeah.
raised us well. We're good people, and they're
Yeah.
just going to trust that whatever decisions we make are the right ones, for my husband and I and our family.
That's
But
amazing.
I mean, I still talk to my mum every day pretty much.
I love
There's
that.
always
I love
something.
that.
So,
And I think for us as parents, that's the kind of relationship we want to have with our adult
yeah.
children. But
Yeah.
if you keep getting in there and giving them advice,
Yeah.
suggestions, people are like, oh, I don't really give them advice or tell them what to do. I just give them
Yeah.
suggestions. You can't do any of that because they
Fractures
hear
the
it.
relationship.
Well, they hear it. The
Yeah.
kids hear it. See if you agree with this. They hear it as, you don't think I'm capable of doing this on my own. You
Yeah.
don't think that I'm smart enough or talented
You
enough.
see me as a
And
child.
yes, you see me as young, and it undermines their confidence. It undermines their belief in themselves and the abilities that God's given them to take on the world and do
Yeah.
what they need to do
Yeah.
and what they're called to do. So the last thing
Yeah.
I think we would do as parents is undermine our children in any way.
Yeah.
And yet when you can't stop giving advice and
What's
instructing them
happening.
and giving those
Mm,
suggestions,
yeah,
you're doing exactly that. You're undermining them. I always say,
yeah.
Suzy suggests no suggestions. No, Suzy is suggesting, do not give suggestions.
Yeah.
Do not.
It would I know. I reckon your book's gonna help me in about 20 years' time because
Oh,
I can already see it now. It's
yeah.
probably gonna be something I'm gonna have to work through because and that's why I'm a life coach and I love doing what I do because I love to try and fix problems
Yes.
and help people. So it is going to be something that I'm gonna have to be conscious of and actively work on when that time comes. But I'm still in that training season,
That's
so
it.
that's
Well, and
okay.
I think there's such value, though. I want to encourage you, just even in the season that you're in, Mel, that when you're living life with intention and you're being thoughtful about what you're doing, you're not just, scramble to get through the day. And I love what you're doing here, Beyond Organized. Help people get organized with some structure so they actually
Yeah.
have a thought life and intentionality going into what they're doing instead of just trying to survive
Yes.
and tread water.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I love
Exactly.
what
It's
you're
being
doing.
present. It's
Yeah,
being present today
it
and
is.
in the everyday
Yeah.
because I know this time is going to go fast. It's slow in the moment, but even when I look at my eldest, he's nearly 10 and I just think that has flown already. And I just, maybe that's why I keep having more babies to keep me living it. But,
If you wanna get to
but
where
it
I am,
just,
that needs to stop. You need to stop that eventually.
believe me, I've stopped now. Four's my limit. I'm stretched. I love them, but yeah, we're done. It's just it goes so fast, and I think of the future and the life I want to set up for the future, and hopefully grandkids one day. I'm bettering my odds, that's for sure. But
Yes.
I I just think as much as I can think and plan for the future and all of that, and that's what I'm setting up by having the life I've got, I also want to be present today and in the moment today because I know this is going to go so fast and I want to be in my 50s, 60s, 70s and looking back on today and going, you know what, I made the most of it. It went fast. I wish I could live another day in it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I made the most of it while I've got it and no regrets,
Love that.
So
Well, and you wanna
I
live intentionally, but you will make mistakes. And
of course,
and,
every day.
knowing that you do the best you can, that's what matters.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. So I love that you are speaking on something that I also feel like, particularly for women, that I've come across in this area feel like they should know what they're feeling and thinking. They should be happy. Now, the kids moved out and they've got their space. They should be happy with a lot of things, but there's just this emptiness and they're not quite sure what to do with themselves. How do you help, particularly the women? I want to focus more on the women. How do you help them navigate this season when there's so many emotions that they almost feel like they should feel one thing, but they're feeling another?
That's a great question. I think, first of all, I encourage women just to give themselves grace. Be very kind to yourself. This is a
Yeah.
huge transition. And I would equate it with when you were pregnant and you knew a baby, that first baby was coming, and you did everything you can. You were just readiness and thinking about all the time and
Yeah.
preparations, preparations, preparations. And then it happened and you were like, oh, nothing could have prepared me for this. This is
Yeah.
I read the books, I
This is
talked to all
another
the
level.
people, so when
Yeah.
you're living it, it is different. So you have to be kind to yourself and just know that you're going to do the best you can and get through it. So I think that's the first thing. And then secondly, I think it's a real time of overwhelm. I think people can get very overwhelmed. And so it's very helpful to break it down. I try to encourage them to break it down. There are three main areas. The first is I tell people take out like really literally like a notepad, here. You can
Mhm.
see here's my notepad from
Yeah.
today, a notepad, and write down as an empty nester, what are the things you need to do? How long's it been since you had your checkup at the doctor's? Have you had a mammogram? Do you need to get your teeth cleaned? Do you need to,
Yeah.
do you need to
Yeah.
get in shape because you're not healthy?
Care for
Do
yourself.
you need
Yeah.
to do you need to work on your marriage? Did you neglect your
Mm.
spouse, your husband, while you were busy raising kids? Do you guys need to work at getting back in touch with each other? What do you need? Yeah, what do you need to do? These are not, oh, I really want to travel. I really want to. These are need to. And that has to come
Foundational.
first. Take care of
Yeah.
what you need to do. So it is self care, yes, but it's also just maybe you need to give more attention to an elderly parent that you've neglected and they're declining and they need more of you. And you need to at least get in there and assess what's going on. How can I meet these needs effectively? So, what is it you need to do? Number two, what do you want to do? Do you want to travel more? Do you want to go back to raising orchids? Do you want to start a business making jewelry? Do you love pottery? Do you want to go back to college? Do you want to re enter the workforce? What do you want to? Do you want to volunteer? Just put it down on the pad, write it on the list, and just brainstorm. It doesn't mean you're going to get to all of it, but what do you want to do? Then number three, I tell women, you immediately, it's very, very, very important. You must, within the first 2 months of becoming an empty nester, you must plan a trip. And I'm serious.
I
You need to plan
love
a
it.
little getaway. You don't have to go. This is not the time to go to the, cabin in the mountains that you've been to 5 times or the beach house that your family owns that you've been to all your life. This is like
Somewhere
take your
new.
husband, or if you're single, take your girlfriend and or your mom or somebody and go away. This is not a long weekend. This is about a week, and you need to pull back from your life. You'll be able to just, all the noise will go away and you'll be able to really focus, really think, really pray, really hone in on what you want this season to be. And so it gives you not only that, but it gives you something to look forward to and plan for. And this isn't the trip where you're like, I'm going to go to Europe and be a sightseer. That's not this trip. This
For
is,
3 months.
yeah, this is
Yeah.
going somewhere that's interesting to you, but that would be simple. That,
Yep.
whether
Yep.
it's a resort or a cabin somewhere, and it's not by yourself, it's usually with another person so that you can just talk. And the time
Something
to
to look
be there
forward
is to
to.
really just think about, what do I want this life to be like now? What do I
Yeah.
want my purpose to be? What do I have to offer? So I
Yeah.
ask women to do an exercise in my book. It's actually the very first chapter of the book. as they're figuring out who they are. And I ask them to find 10 people that know them well. Can be your children, should definitely be your spouse. It can be your mom, but it should be some of your friends, male, female, both. So about 10 people, and text them, tell them I'm doing something weird. You want to be like, I'm doing something weird. Don't question this, but I'm going to
Yeah.
ask you to think of me and think of the first 3 things that describe me that you think of, and just text those back to me really fast. Don't overthink this. It's got to be one word. And when those words start coming in, Mel, you will see yourself in a whole new light, because we have what we think we are putting out there, and we have what we know of ourselves, which is the good and the bad. But when you see how others see you, it is a powerful, powerful thing. Example, I thought that I was going to get words like bossy and opinionated and know it all and things like that.
Yeah.
And instead,
Yeah.
I got words like persuasive, encouraging, enthusiastic,
Beautiful.
exhorter, all these things that people, uplifting, inspiring, these words that I thought, that's not me, because
You didn't
I'll
know you were
think,
doing it.
yeah, I didn't know I was doing it. And so when you start seeing how other people see you, it can open up this whole new avenue of what you think you might want to do to find purpose
Yeah.
in the empty nest
Yeah.
season. When I realized that people saw me as such an encourager and someone that would inspire them, that was part of the confidence that it gave me to start Empty Nest Blessed. The mission statement for Empty Nest Blessed is to encourage, inspire, and bless empty nesters. And it started at 10 years
Perfect.
ago. It's still that way today.
I love it. And I love how it's no doubt evolved in that time, but the core message is still the
The
same.
same.
I think that's so, so beautiful. What do you think is the main limiting belief holding women back in this season?
That is an excellent question. And you are a great interviewer. You really are. You're asking great questions. Um, I would
For making you
say,
think.
no, this is good. I know exactly what I think. I'm just
Yeah.
admiring your asking it. Um,
Thank
the
you.
number one thing is fear. It's fear. It's fear of feeling or looking old. It's fear of people looking down at you now that you don't have the importance of I'm so and so's mom, or my
Yeah.
child
Okay.
got into this excellent university, or my child has this prestigious job or whatever.
Yes.
It's just you, and you're afraid. Tech moves so quickly. Our world moves fast. You can be
Even
behind.
I'm struggling.
Oh, please.
I'm in my
You can be
30s. I
behind in
hate
a
to
day.
think.
Yeah, no, you could be behind in a day. I mean, Mel, my whole
Yeah.
job is on the internet. When I was in college, in university, the internet was not even invented. And so, and, but
Scary,
my
isn't it?
but my degree, what I studied in school was marketing, public relations, speaking, writing. Those are all the
Here you
things God
are.
was preparing me for just such a
That
time as this. And yet the
Yeah.
medium that I'm using did not exist.
Yeah.
It's
Isn't that
amazing.
crazy?
So
Isn't
you
it
don't
crazy
need to
how he sets
worry.
us up?
He has a plan. I mean,
Mm.
he has a plan.
Yeah.
And he says, this is the way, walk in it. And so your job is
Yeah.
to walk, take those steps every day. So I
Yeah.
think it's fear. And I still struggle with that. When I work with a brand, sometimes I'm fearful to ask for payment that I think I'm due, because
Mm.
I'm scared they'll be like,
Yeah.
well, you're not really worth that, or whatever. I don't really think you bring that much value. So no, thanks. We're walking away, or
Oh.
whatever. I don't. And,
Yeah.
whether it's that kind of fear or just fear that you'll look stupid and you'll have to ask somebody that's like younger and more with it than you are to help figure something out, tech wise, or whether it's some sort of terminology people are using that you're like, I don't understand, and that you're going to look dumb or old, or
Yeah.
like, the ship has sailed or whatever. And so I think it's fear, to be honest. I think it's fear.
Yeah.
We all have these dreams like, oh, I want to travel more. But Do you really?
Yeah,
I mean,
something's holding them
travel's not
back.
super glam. I mean, there's parts of it
Yeah,
that are wonderful, but when it really comes to the nitty-gritty, every job has hard parts, and just
yeah,
life is messy and not always
yeah,
pretty. And so yeah. So I hope that answers your question. I think it's fear and it's normal. We
definitely.
all struggle with it.
I have a bit of a side question, I guess, and it's probably a little specific and maybe not relevant for everyone, but how or what advice would you give to someone where their children keep coming back and then leaving
Yeah.
and coming back and they're trying to mentally prepare for this empty nest season, and then all of a sudden they're thrown back into having a child come back? Because we're seeing it a lot these days.
It happens a lot, and, whether it's financial or whether it's an inability to grow up,
Relational or
yes,
yeah.
or just falling on hard times, whatever it is, it can be very, very challenging. We call that, I don't know if you know this term in Australia, I don't know, but we call it being a boomerang child. A
Well, I
boomerang
should
child
know
that,
that
like,
in
it went
Australia.
away and then it came back. I don't know
Yeah.
what
Bo- Boomerangs are known in
we
Australia,
stole it
so
from
that
you.
makes
Yes. So we call that
makes
boomerang
perfect sense.
parenting. Yeah, boomerang parenting and boomerang children who go away and then they
Yeah,
come
okay.
back. So that is a difficult thing. And I'm sure as a coach, as a life coach, you deal with this a lot. People have trouble setting boundaries. And
Yes,
boundaries are like, they are kind of a bad word. I mean, like a dirty word. Nobody likes it.
they
But
really shouldn't be.
boundaries, I always say
Yeah.
boundaries are tools for a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so learning to set boundaries with your adult children is challenging. And I'll tell you why specifically. Because you have, and my friend, you've got this little 1-year-old precious one, and you're going to raise them all the way up till they're 18. And then they're adults. For better or worse, you've done your job. They're who
Yeah.
God made them to be, and they
Groundwork
launch.
is done.
And they've launched. And
Praise.
then
Pray
it's a
as
lot
you
of
should.
pray. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But so during that time, 1 through 18, how has your child viewed you? You've had one role, and that is mom, instructor, teacher,
Teacher.
guider,
Yeah. Nurse.
corrector,
Everything
nurse,
else. Yeah.
chauffeur, cook,
I know, right,
all those
chef?
things.
Yeah.
Exactly, laundress. Um,
Yeah.
but they've seen you as a mom. You've
Mm.
seen them go from this little 1-year-old that you've got in your arms to this 18-year-old boy, maybe
Yeah.
who's taller than
Yeah.
you. He's got
Yes, they
whiskers.
will be.
He's got muscles,
Yeah.
all those things. So you're seeing them at different stages. All they ever do is see you as mom. So
Yeah.
when you've got an adult child, they're thinking mom the way they've always thought of you. They do
Yeah.
not think of you
Constant
as a woman with your own skills, abilities. Even if you
life.
were a
Yeah.
working mom, even if you had a job,
Yeah.
because, whether you were a full time stay at home mom and all you did was your children, or whether you had a flourishing career and they were in daycare all the time and you were out at a, high rise office building, does not matter. They still see you as mom. And yet you've seen them grow and evolve, but in their mind, you have not grown and evolved. So you can start seeing yourself that way, and that's not good. And then also, their perspective towards you is that. So when you've got these boomerang children who are going away and coming back, they do not expect mom to set a boundary and to say, I'm sorry, that's not going to work tonight. I have my girlfriend's coming over for book club, so you're not going to be able to be here. So I love
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
And, other nights are good.
Yeah.
Tonight, that's not okay, or whatever. So setting
Yeah.
boundaries,
Yeah.
having your own life. My kids, I was asking them one time, my children are 33, 31, and 29. And I asked them, what has been the most challenging thing about the way you see me now that I'm an empty nester? And one of them said, we had no idea you could do so many things. And
Oh,
they
bit of a
were like,
slap in the face.
I know. No, but they were like, you wrote a book,
In a
you've
good
got this
way.
business, you
Yeah.
got, wow, we didn't know that, mom. Way to go.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I think then another one said, it kind of hurt that you had so much that was interesting to you outside of me and us, because I thought it was just
Mm.
us. And I
all
was,
about
you know,
me.
and it was
Yeah.
like, well, you're always number one and you're so precious to me, but I can't do other
Yeah.
things. And so
Yeah.
I think we have to remember you are a woman before you are a mother. Mother is a precious, sacred calling. It's a beautiful role, but it is a role you're called to fill. Just like you're a daughter
For
or a
yeah. Yeah.
granddaughter, a sister, a friend,
Yeah.
a wife, it's a role and it's not who you are. It doesn't define you
Yeah.
any more than any
Define
of
you.
those other roles do. So it's about getting back in touch with the woman that you are. And that's why I start my book with let's talk about who you are and what you have to
Yeah.
offer. And once you really get a hold of that, then it does. I don't love the word empower, but it does make you feel empowered then to go on and to just bloom into being that flower
Yeah.
that God made you to be.
Well, I hope I'm setting my kids up for that kind of expectation that it doesn't hit them so hard because my husband and I are making a little bit more effort these days to go out on a date night or do something
Good.
just the two of us because we know when the kids are gone, it's just going to be the two of us, and I want to know who I'm married to, and I want to
Yes.
enjoy that
Yes.
stage too, and I want to enjoy this time now. But the kids are like, "Oh, why are you going without us?" And, "Oh, we
Yeah.
want to come too," and all that. And
Yeah.
it's like, no, it's mummy and daddy time. We need to work on our relationship because we come first to each other. Like, we love you guys and you're our children and you're important to us, but I married your dad first. He actually comes before you in a lot of ways. So I want to work on that because one day you'll grow up, you'll have your own lives, your own wives and husbands and all of that. But I'll still be with your dad, and I want it to work well. And they're kind of understanding, because in my mind it goes God first, then my husband Sam, and then my children.
That's
And
beautiful.
um, and I think it also puts it into perspective that I'm not then sacrificing my relationship with my husband because I'm constantly on demand for the kids.
Yes.
It puts things in perspective a bit better. And I'm seeing how a lot of relationships are broken down because, oh, but I've got to attend to little Johnny's needs all the time, all the time, all the time. And it's like, well, what about me? I have needs too. So yeah, we're just
You're
more
doing a
conscious.
beautiful thing. You are modeling for those children what a
Yeah.
good marriage looks like.
Yeah.
And I want to encourage you, Mel, as they get older, don't just go for a date night, go away for the
Yeah.
weekend. Go away
Well,
for
that's what
4 or
we're
5
doing
days.
for my
Good,
birthday in 2
good,
weeks' time.
good.
For one night,
Yeah,
my mum's coming and she's
yeah.
going to stay over and watch
And you know
them, and
what?
we're going
Tell
away
the
for my
children,
birthday.
just say, Daddy's my best friend. And I'm going with dad. Daddy's my best friend, and he comes first. And
Yeah,
that will give them such confidence. And you're setting such a wonderful example. And you just tell them you're going to marry your best friend too, and you're going to
exactly.
feel like you want to be with
And I
them.
do.
So
And
that's so
it's
good.
funny because I didn't grow up. I mean, my parents are together, and it's fine. But I didn't grow up with even just having them hug in front of us, right? Like we're not very, touchy feely kind of people, but every now and then, like I just want to give him a hug.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him all week. We've been working and out of the house and different places, and I just want to give him a hug. And it's funny because I see particularly my youngest two, and they've got the biggest smiles on their face.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, it's so nice.
Yeah.
My older two the boys are a bit like, yeah, all
Yeah,
right, come
they
on,
think
where's my
it
dinner?
though. They think it. It gives them such confidence, to know that you guys are the foundation that their family is
Yeah,
built on.
yeah. Well,
So,
I
I
want
hope
my
I answered your question about boomerangs. Boomerangs are hard. It is a whole
yes,
thing, and I do write about that some in my book, but setting boundaries in small ways like you're even starting to do now, and setting boundaries even as an empty nester to just say, "That won't work for me," and if they call, just to say, "Sweetie, I'd love to talk to you. This is not a good time. When would it work for me to call you back?" Just to have I have other things going on in my life. I'm my own person, and you have to remind them because again, they've only seen you as that role. They think that's all you are, and you're not, and you have to just a little bit gently re-educate them, and, um, I want my kids to be very proud of me and what I'm
I'm
doing.
sure they are.
Well, I
I'm
don't know.
sure they are.
I hope
Yeah.
so.
I mean, I can't speak for them, but I'd be pretty proud if you were my mum.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Well, I could talk all day, and I'm definitely going to have to get you to come back for a part 2
I would
and
love
keep
that.
going with more things, because I just have loved talking to you, and I know that you're just a wealth of knowledge, which would be amazing to have more of. But
Thank you.
in the meantime, how can people connect with you?
Well, the biggest thing they can do is join me at emptynestblessed.com. And so that is a platform that, as I said, it's been going for 10 years. I talk about everything that is important in the life of an empty nester. So we're definitely going to talk about fashion. The holidays are coming up. We're going to talk about gift giving. We talk about parenting adult children. We talk about marriage, travel, decorating, being organized,
Love it.
beauty, how to deal with wrinkly necks and, all the things that come, menopause, all the things that come with getting older. But I think women are so beautiful and multifaceted. So I really want to talk about the whole woman. And as I said, you're not just a mother, you're a whole woman. So we are going to talk about the whole woman. And then also, you can follow me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest, a little bit on YouTube, but mostly Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. And it's at Empty Nest Blessed. And so my book is available on Amazon. It's called, guess what? Empty Nest Blessed. Empty Nest Blessed.
Nice and consistent.
That's right. The subtitle is 60 Days to Finding Joy in the Empty Nest. So
It's
it's
beautiful.
broken
I'll make
down.
sure it's all in the
Oh,
description.
thank
So the
you.
links are there and
Yes,
easy to find for
wonderful. It's
everyone.
on ebook, audiobook, and hardback book. It makes a great gift. It'd be a good holiday gift. It's real colorful and happy. I should have one to show you, but I can't put my finger on one right now.
That's
But
okay.
it's a great gift. So give it
Yeah.
to your
Well, I know
friends.
what I'll be getting my mum.
Oh, thank you. Thank you,
That's
Mel.
great. Well, thank you so much for coming on today, Suzy. I really appreciate it, and I really
Yes.
look forward to us connecting again in the future.
I would love that. We'll have everybody write into you with all their questions and we'll come on and answer them.
Definitely.
That would be
Great
fun.
idea.
Okay. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Suzy.
Okay. Take care.